What if I told you that your phone, your smart TV, or even your car could be spying on you? Imagine this. Every conversation, every private moment could be secretly monitored and you wouldn't even know it. Sounds like something out of a Hollywood thriller, right? But here's the catch. It's real, and it all started with something called Vault 7. In March 2017, a bombshell dropped on the internet, one that shook governments, tech companies, and cybersecurity experts around the world. The whistleblower organisation WikiLeaks released over 8,000 pages of confidential documents from the CIA's internal networks. This massive leak, known as Vault 7, exposed tools and techniques the CIA had developed to hack into a wide range of devices. Phones, computers, routers, even cars. But the biggest revelation? These tools weren't just about hacking criminals or enemy states. They had the potential to spy on anyone, even you. So how did we get here? How did one of the most powerful intelligence agencies in the world end up with its most sensitive hacking arsenal out in the open? And what did Vault 7 tell us about the secretive world of digital espionage? Let's start with what was actually in these leaks. Vault 7 was packed with revelations that made privacy advocates everywhere sit up in alarm. Among the tools the CIA had developed, some were particularly chilling. Weeping Angel. Sounds innocent, right? But this tool was designed to turn your Samsung Smart TV into a spying device. It could be set to a fake off mode, making it appear off while secretly recording your conversations. Hammer Drill. This one was meant for Windows computers. It was a tool designed to infiltrate air-gapped systems, computers that aren't even connected to the internet, by infecting USB drives. Fine Dining. This wasn't your typical restaurant experience. Fine Dining was a framework used to create custom attacks tailored to specific targets, offering a menu of different options for how to hack and infiltrate devices. And the list goes on. In fact, one of the most disturbing revelations was that the CIA had developed techniques to take over vehicle systems, potentially causing fatal accidents, all in the name of covert operations. Tools that could hijack Android phones, iPhones, Wi-Fi routers, and even vehicle control systems. Yes, you heard that right. Cars. Now you might be thinking, I'm not a terrorist or a foreign government agent, so why should I care? The truth is, these hacking tools weren't just targeting big-time criminals or foreign adversaries. Vault 7 made it clear that anyone could be a target. For years, privacy advocates had warned us that our devices were vulnerable, that governments and corporations could be watching us without our consent. But Vault 7 was the smoking gun, proof that even agencies sworn to protect their citizens could also turn that power inward. The release of Vault 7 wasn't just a blow to the CIA, it sent shockwaves through the entire tech industry. Tech giants like Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Samsung scrambled to respond. After all, many of the devices that were shown to be vulnerable, iPhones, Androids, Windows computers, and smart TVs, were products made by these companies. These companies had to reassure their users that they were fixing the vulnerabilities exposed by Vault 7. Apple claimed they had already patched most of the flaws in their devices, while Google and Microsoft worked on issuing updates to protect their users. But the damage had already been done. Consumer trust was shattered. People realized their personal information, photos, and conversations weren't as private as they thought. The real question became, how do we know these vulnerabilities were truly fixed? For many, it felt like closing the barn doors after the horses had already bolted. But there's another mystery within the Vault 7 story. Who leaked the documents? Although WikiLeaks has a reputation for receiving and releasing confidential information, the source of this leak has been a topic of fierce debate. The main suspect? Joshua Schulte, a former CIA software engineer. He was arrested and charged with leaking the documents. But even as of 2024, the full details of how Vault 7 was leaked remain murky, and Schulte himself has denied some of the allegations. What Vault 7 also exposed was the brutal reality of digital warfare. Governments around the world are racing to build and deploy cyber weapons, tools that can disrupt power grids, steal sensitive data, or spy on entire populations. This isn't just a CIA thing. Russia, China, the United States, and countless other nations are all investing heavily in cyber espionage and cyber weapons. The problem is, as Vault 7 showed, these tools can easily fall into the wrong hands. Once out in the wild, they can be reverse engineered by other governments, rogue hackers, or even criminal organizations. Imagine the chaos if these cyber weapons were turned against us. It's a digital arms race, and the stakes are higher than ever. So where does that leave us? In a world where technology connects us more than ever, but also makes us vulnerable in ways we never imagined. Vault 7 forced a global conversation about privacy, security, and the role of government in the digital age. Advocates of digital privacy argue that it's not enough for governments to justify these tools under the guise of national security. Once that door is open, who's to say where the line gets drawn? So what can you, an everyday user, do about all this? It might seem overwhelming, but there are steps you can take to protect yourself in the digital world. Update your software. Keep your devices up to date with the latest security patches. Use strong passwords, a simple but effective measure to protect your accounts. Enable two-factor authentication. This adds an extra layer of security. Be cautious of public Wi-Fi. Avoid doing sensitive activities on public networks. It's impossible to be 100% safe in the digital world, but taking steps to secure your devices can reduce the chances of being hacked or spied on. Vault 7 was a wake-up call for all of us. It showed us that the world of espionage has moved from the shadows into our living rooms, our pockets, and our everyday lives. But the more we know, the more we can take control. Stay informed, stay secure, and always be aware that in the digital age, the line between privacy and surveillance is thinner than ever before. Remember, in this game of digital warfare, knowledge is your greatest weapon. Stay vigilant, stay protected.